How you guys doing? It's Adrian or Pinoy732, as you guys know me on Nike Talk. Someone suggested that I make a video or talking about needing a tutorial for shoe shining. I'm not saying anything that I'm amazing, but I can shine a shoe for the most part. So I recently picked up these To Boot New York perf caps and figured that I need to clean them up before I resell them, so I might as well make a little video out of it. I actually picked them up for $5 from Goodwill. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. And despite them having a rubber sole, I've seen the brand sell retail $250, you know, around that price range from Nordstrom. So I assume I can make a little bit of money off of it. So first thing when it comes to shoe shining, you have to have the necessary equipment. So sorry about the video quality. You're on an iPhone. That's all I really have. But what you need is a horsehair brush. Dauber brush was your applicator. Conditioner or cleaner, which you could use saddle soap too, but for this video I'm just going to do the conditioner. And then finally your polish. I'm using Allen Edmond polish. There's different kinds, which is either cream or wax. This is a mix of both, so it's just the easiest to do for me. It's a really good bang for your buck. I know Sapphire, Renault, whatever. That's really good too. And don't be afraid of kiwi. Kiwi is good to go. And you can find it anywhere, $5 at a grocery store. So first thing we got to do is brush the shoe down thoroughly. And all this is doing is getting rid of any excess dirt, debris, anything like that. Aside from that, what I tend to do is after this brush off, I'll take a towel, something that's a little bit little texture to it, and try to physically remove some of the polish that's already there. And a lot of people get scared about doing that. Like there's a way to do it with acetone or nail polish remover. I don't want to do that because I don't know exactly how much I'm going to take off. But the key to polishing is that you don't just keep caking polish on and on and on. What you want to do is remove the old polish and set new ones in. So what you do with this, as you can see, is pretty clean. Rub it down, apply some pressure, and it essentially rubs off some of the polish. Now, don't do it in a way where you're going to destroy the shoe because you're doing it, but have it that way. Some of the excess polish that can come off, it will. Again, don't rub it down until it's, you know, bare leather. But as you can see, it's accumulated a little bit of the polish already. Like I said, this is just the prep work before we actually start applying the polish. So I'll do to the other shoe too. Because I only have an iPhone, I'm just going to do this video in segments. So I'm going to stop recording right after I'm done with this. And I'll show you the next step, which is the conditioning phase. Alright guys, so we just wiped down the shoe. And we're going to brush off the little bit of excess polish that came off just from that. Like I said before, the wipe down, as you can see, there's some of the polish right there that came off. Wipe the shoe thoroughly again. And mind you, when it comes to the shoe polishing stuff, guys, I was never taught per se. I never had my father sit me down or grandfather, whatever. I've never even gone and get my shoes shined from, you know, just some shine guy. I literally have, I've read some stuff, I've looked at a couple videos, and just perfected my craft as I kept going. And like I said, I don't think I'm anything amazing, but, you know, I can shine a pair of shoes. Alright, so we just brushed the shoes down, wiped off some of the excess polish, and then brushed them again to make sure all the excess comes off. Now we're going to go on to the conditioner phase. Now the conditioner helps rejuvenate the leather and allows it to take in all the necessary nutrients it needs again. And also it helps clean off any more excess dirt that it couldn't get off from just scrubbing it down. With the conditioner, never apply it directly to the shoe. What you want to do is add a little bit to a cloth. Like that. I'm not sure if you really can see, sorry about the lighting. A little bit to the cloth, smear it in, and then rub it around the shoe in circular motion. Make sure to get all the little crevices as much as possible. As you can see, because it's cleaning the shoe, a little more polish is coming off. That little dab I did is not going to be enough to cover an entire shoe. So what I'll do is I'll get it until it's essentially gone, add a little bit more. Again, not directly, just on the shoe, spread it around the cloth, and then work at it. Just little circles all the way around, as you can see. Again, sorry about the video, this is all I have. So you thoroughly do that over both shoes. I'm going to stop the video now and show you the next process in just a second. Alright guys, this is a part 3. So just to recap, I added the conditioner and cleaner, wiped down the shoe. Since then, I let it dry. You don't want to have it there, but you apply the polish when it's still kind of wet. So the shoes are drying. This is what they look like now. I guess from the lighting, it kind of looks like the shiny, but they're pretty dull. So the next step we're doing is we're adding the polish. The way that you do the polish is that you do one shoe at a time. And essentially, the timing in between all depends on how much you want to let things set. I know people who will try to get this done within 5-10 minutes. I'm usually one of those people is that when I'm done with one shoe, I work on the other. When the second shoe is done, the first one, good to go. But there are people out there who will let it sit for like an hour, 2 hours, even an entire day, just to let it really, really set in. I feel like the polish I have doesn't really require that. It dries fairly fast, and this is the Allen Edmond ones. So I'm just going to show you a quick little thing. What I do is two coats. First one is just your general polish. Second one is your spit shine. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that in a second. But first, take the polish, put it on your dauber brush, your applicator brush, and just a little bit, and start working it in small little circles. I dab it all the way across, like that, and then just start spinning. Make sure the polish gets in all the little holes, the little perforations. Not to the point where it's caking in, but enough that it will cover the whole shoe. If some of the polish gets on the dressing, that's fine. Worst case in the end, you just wipe it off with a wet rag or something. Hope you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. But it just work around it in small little circles. The amount that I added is probably enough to cover the entire shoe. So if it's, oh, there's a little too much, take it and apply it somewhere else. Mind you, if you don't have an applicator brush, this can be done completely fine with just an old towel or t-shirt, rag, something like that. Which actually, the spit shine process, I do not use the dauber brush, and you'll see what I mean by that. As you apply it all the way around, it should look very matte in color, not nearly as much luster as it will be at the end. But that's because you have to let the polish set, brush it down, then buff it. Alright, this shoe is now completely covered in polish, so I'll let it dry out before I do anything next, and while it's drying, I'll work on the second one. I will make a video after I finish the second one to show you guys what to do next. Alright guys, just to recap, so far we've brushed down the shoe, wiped off the excess polish, brushed it again, applied the conditioner and cleaner, let it sit, and then we apply the polish. So right now there's one coat of polish Both of these shoes, like I said before, lighting doesn't really look like it, but they're actually pretty matte in color. There's no real luster to it. So the next step is grab your horsehair brush and wipe it down. You literally go every which way you could possibly go. Doesn't really matter how you hold it. Lengthways is always just going to be easier. But make sure you get as much of it as possible. Like if you added polish to the tongue, which I did, get the tongue wiped down too. And just absolutely everything. Everything that had polish attached to it. Realizing now I didn't do a before and after picture because I'd like to be able to show you guys the difference, but it's whatever. Yeah, so this shoe is brushed down. Brushed, not brushed. Not sure if you really can tell the difference. But, go brush the other one. Alright, so now both the shoes are completely brushed off, and you could just call it a day. When it comes to adding polish, you could just buff it next, but what I like to do is add a second coat to have more of a spit shine. So I'll show you guys that in just a second. I'm going to make a second video, that way this one's not as long. Okay guys, for the final polish, I have a little thing of water here. And like I said on the last segment, you could just buff down, do the pantyhose thing, call it a day. But one of the videos I saw suggested to use water, and it came out pretty well for me. But you have to do it a very certain way. So for your first time you ever shine shoes, I wouldn't suggest doing this like this. Just buff down, which take a very soft cloth and wipe the shoe down until it's as shiny as you need it to be. But for this, what I do is I don't use the applicator brush anymore. Still using the polish. And I'll take a rag, have it fairly tight around two of my fingers, just like this. And what I'll do is take a drop of water and displace it just on the shoe. Mind you, I literally added one drop of water. You'll be surprised to see how much it really does affect the shoe. Add a little bit of polish, take your two fingers, and circle it in. So I'll have it that way, start spraying some of the polish, touch the water, and have it go through over. It's amazing how little water you need to displace through the shoe. And all you have to do is just work it in to have it, that way it's an even coat all over. So I like to do this in sections. So since there's a little cap toe here, it tells me exactly when to stop. I'll work this one in, and then I'll start working the other sides. And from what I've seen, adding that water is what really makes it shine more, and it's more glossy. It's I try to have my shoes look like glass. I'm not good enough yet to be that effective, but it's a working process. So again, there's literally one drop. Add a little bit of polish. Start working in the polish, get the water in, start going all over. I honestly foresee uploading these videos to take longer than this whole process. Alright, so this shoe is completely done for the spit application. I'll do the second shoe and then we'll buff and wipe down. I'll show you guys that in the second video. Alright guys, so again another recap. Brushed shoe down, wiped off as much polish with a rag, brushed it down again, conditioner and cleaner applied, let it dry, polish applied with a dauber brush, let it dry, polish, then applied again with a rag and water to help displace it. Now finally the shoes are dry, so we are going to brush them down and then buff. So just like when you're brushing off all the excess dirt and whatever, brush them down again. And just from this, you'll be able to see, just compare one shoe versus the other, that it starts to get a little shine to it since yeah, you rub off some of the gritty parts of the polish. But afterwards, when we buff it, it's going to look so much better. Alright, so both shoes are completely brushed down. So we take a rag and we'll go buff it now. The rag, you don't have to do anything too crazy, whatever. Just kind of have it tight on your hand and just wipe the shoe down. This brings out that shine that you're looking for. And then the last thing I do actually is add pantyhose, of all things, to really get it to shine up some more. Just from doing this, not sure really how much you guys can really see. You'll see in the pictures afterwards. It's already looking really shiny, really nice. A lot better than when I picked it up. So that's one shoe. I'll do this one in a little bit. But I want to show you the pantyhose now. Pantyhose, I cut part of it off before. So I really just have the leg of the pantyhose. Cover my hand in it. Just like that. And lightly wipe down the shoe. Nothing crazy, not a whole lot of pressure, but just evenly get as much of it as possible. The little crease in between here and the heel or the dressing, get the fabric to go in between there too. I could not tell you exactly what it is about this material on the polish, but something about it just brings out the shine so nice. And mind you, in theory, you could not do this process. You could have it that way. If you like your shoes a little matte, you don't brush it down with this. But if you really want that nice shine, this is the way to do it. Now I'm going to try to show you as much as possible, but it's hard to see with the front-facing camera, and I don't think I could reverse it on the video. But This one is the one that's been wiped down versus this one, which is still yet to be brushed. So mind you, this would be a little bit shinier after it gets brushed down, but this is your end result with the nylon. So I'll show you guys some pictures when I'm finally done wiping everything down. Alright guys, this is the final product. This is after the initial brush, wipe down, brush, condition, clean, polished, spit shine polished, and brushed, buffed, and pantyhose buffed. So as you can see, it's fairly shiny on the toe. I'd like to see it a little bit more glassy next time, but I'm still working at it. But yeah, I hope these videos have been informative, and that you guys will post up some pictures of whatever shoes you shine next. So yeah, glad I could help. Signing off, Pinoy 732 or Adrian.